Hello, YouTube. It's been a few days, hasn't it? Yeah, it's been really weird not being a part of this community for a week. I'm glad you all saw our little walk on the beach earlier today, though. That was nice. Of course, we have no time tonight, guys, to put a really nice thumbnail or make a nice title or do a good description. Nothing. It's just straight live. It's 3:25 a.m. here in Fort Myers. And yeah, just thought we'd do a little live to cover Sarah Boone's latest appearance in court, where she is doubling, tripling, quadrupling down on this. Hey, Matt, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Always count on you, Matt. It's just me and you tonight, man. Quick, some people come in from the chat. This is probably the hour that we need to stream from in general, right? What is it, Eastern? Like 10:30? Yeah, I gotta be living on Tallahassee time from now on, guys. I think this is a good hour. Yeah, it's a shame we couldn't make a thumbnail. Let me share this screen real quick, okay? 9:26. Okay. But you're in Houston, right, Matt? Or Chapel Hill, near Houston. Is that Eastern? No, that's Central, right? Winnipeg time. We got that stream up? Okay. So yeah, little Sarah Boone footage today, folks. And not much happens, but a fair amount happens. It is crazy what she's going with. It is crazy how she wants to piss off the judge in her own case. It's nuts. Hey, veggie girl. British Columbia. Awesome. Hey, you be proud of me today, veggie girl. I had what was it? It wasn't a falafel, but it was a bean burger. That was what I had for lunch. I do eat meat, but you know, not as much as other people. Anyway, let's. I mean, first of all, her appearance. Okay, we've got her appearance in court, and then her general appearance. Look at this angst built up in her face. Look at this frustration and anger just sitting right there on her face. It's nuts. I don't know why she's going with this line. She should be playing this super humble, super apology, super regret, and she's doing anything but. Let's see what the judge has to say.
Dave Cacciatore on behalf of the state.
Ms. Boone, good morning. Could you please raise...
Okay, first off, guys, this judge is super polite. Absolutely, like, you know, if ever there was a polite judge that gave the defendant some time. But I'm not sure about these courtrooms that have the judge sitting in the corner. It feels like he's in the naughty corner. Like, go and sit in the corner. You know? For me, personally, I want my judge up against the wall. You know, flat wall in the middle. Not in the corner. I only see this in Florida, I think. Anyway. Maybe they're low on space.
Raise your right hand so Madam Clerk can swear you in.
Yes.
Ma'am,
Is there any point to swearing Sarah Boone in? Do you swear to Almighty God that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? What does that mean? Does anyone feel like if they take that oath that God will strike them down if they tell a lie? I don't know. I suppose some people do, ethical people. You know, not even necessarily have to be religious, but it's like an accepted thought form of ethics, right? It's a promise. Just in general, outside of the whole God thing, but I don't think Sarah Boone is there.
good morning. Can you state your name and date of birth for the record for me?
Sarah Boone, 10-10-77.
She loves her date of birth. Sarah Boone, 10-10-77, the double numbers thing. It's 77, okay? Sarah Boone, 10-10-77. If it was 8-10-77, she'd be like, yeah, it's... No, sorry. If it was 10-8-77, she'd be like, 77. She just loves the double thing. It's her thing, right? I can never forget her birthday now.
We also have a representative from Prison Break Investigation.
Okay, just quick hello to everybody in the chat. Yeah, we've seen you, Veggie Girl and Matt. But Old Pueblo Hops, good to see you. And Rabbit, there you are. I've missed you so much, Rabbit. Honestly, seriously, guys, I do not feel myself when I'm not speaking to you. Like, all you guys. And especially you, Rabbit. Angel, baby. Oh. Nice to see you. And Sue, all the way from Arkansas. Wicked.
Investigation. Sir, if you could come forward, please. If you could, sir, raise your right hand. Madam Clerk's going to go ahead and swear you in. All right, sir, good morning. Could you state your name for the record?
Billy Lane.
And Mr. Lane, what's your affiliation with Prison Break Investigations?
I'm the owner and chief investigator.
Okay, very good. The reason the court had this hearing this morning is
Prison Break Investigations. It's kind of a strange name for a company, isn't it? I mean, what is that? I've watched this video a couple of times already, and I'm still not quite sure who he is or what his role is. You know, he seems to be... I think it's the title of his company that just kind of throws me off a little, you know? Oh, I've got to stop saying, you know. I listened to a couple of my streams. Yes, I listen to my own content. And frankly, I have made myself laugh. Is that really sad? That is so sad, isn't it? There I am, driving along in Portugal, listening to my own content, laughing at myself. I mean, it makes me want to slip my own wrists.
As the court has found that Ms. Boone has forfeited her right to counsel and waived her right to counsel alternatively by virtue of her conduct in this case. As such, Ms. Boone is currently representing herself. The court has been working diligently.
As excited as we all are that Sarah Boone is going to be representing herself, I am extremely worried about this, guys. I think this gives her enormous grounds for appeal and special circumstances. I mean, if there's anyone that can point to a case, another case in history where a defendant has forfeited their right to legal counsel and is basically insisted to be pro se, represent themselves, in other words. I mean, that is a danger zone. I think an appellate court would look at that and go, well, it wasn't fair that she had to represent herself and we need to let her go. It's thin ice, I think, as far as the court is concerned.
Diligently to provide you the discovery. I received your letter, ma'am, and I have reviewed it. We have not forgotten about you. It's just taken some time in order to coordinate the appropriate processes with the jail. In conversations with the jail, a laptop.
Hi, Neety. I have missed you so much, babe. It's been too long. It's been too long. We're doing daily streams from here on out. It's 3:36 in the morning here, and I just can't not do a stream. It's got to happen.
Has been secured and will be issued to you after USB drives are provided with all the discovery. Upon the jail's receipt of those items, the following provisions will be adhered to. The laptop, charging cable, and USB devices will be kept in the FDC main control room when not in use. At no time will the charging cord be placed in the housing unit. Upon the return of the laptop to the FDC main control, the laptop will be placed on the charging cable to ensure it is available for the next day's usage. The laptop and USB device is to be accounted for with the control room inventory. The control room DST or CO will make logbook entries for the issuing and returning the USB device and laptop. The dorm officer will make logbook entries for the receiving and returning of these items to the applicable movement officer. A notebook entry will be completed in IMS for every issuance of the laptop and USB device to inmate Boone. The laptop and USB device will be available daily to you, Ms. Boone, between 0800 and 1600 hours. A notebook entry will be completed in IMS for every issuance of the laptop.
So this whole thing, guys, is, Sarah Boone is now representing herself and she has to look at the discovery, right? So this whole appointment in the court is to clarify, because the discovery, the documents of the evidence that the state has is so big that it's multiple boxes, and the jail can't accommodate her having those in physical form in a secure way, because she doesn't have, obviously the documents have to be private to her, so they've agreed to give her a laptop for 8 hours a day. And this hearing is just for the judge to say to Miss Boone, this is what we're going to do, and this is what you can expect, right? And just to comment on the judge, I love how clearly he reads this situation out. I mean, it is ticking every box as far as clarification of the situation, and it's very clear, but it's, he's very polite and kind of almost humble in a way, which is well, I don't know if it's unique, but it's just nice. It's like if you were being given some instructions by this judge, if you were assembling a piece of IKEA furniture, he'd be like, you take box 1 and you connect it with this piece. It would just be so clear. You'd know exactly what you were doing, which you never do when you read those frickin' instructions from IKEA, right?
And USB device to yourself, Ms. Boone. The discovery was provided at the court previously and is in the 2 bankers boxes that are in front of the court to your left, Mr. Lane. I'm going to order you, sir, to take possession and custody of that discovery that was provided to the court previously on June 28, 2024. You, through Prison Break Investigations, shall copy all of the discovery onto as many U.S.
We've got to do a little research into this company, Prison Break Investigations. What would, like Michael Schofield?
USB jump drives as necessary. The Judicial Administration Commission for the state of Florida shall be responsible for the fees and costs due to prison break investigations for copying all of the discovery onto as many USB jump drives.
Man, that's a score. When you've got a court saying, yeah, we're gonna pay you whatever you ask for. You do this job and send us the bill. Man, that's a good client to have, believe me.
Drives is necessary. You will appear for a hearing with the court on August 1st, 2024 at 8:45 in courtroom 12A of the Orange County Courthouse with the discovery and all USB jump drives containing the discovery. A representative from the Orange County Jail shall also appear for that hearing as well. At that point in time, Prison Break Investigation shall hand deliver all USB jump drives containing the discovery to the representative from the Orange County Jail in order to be placed onto the laptop that is currently secured and to be issued to the defendant for all trial and court preparation. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
I have a conflict for August 1st, Your Honor. I'm
Okay.
going to be out of state from Tuesday until Friday of next week, which I believe is the conference August 1st for my son's wedding.
Okay, well, congratulations. When do you return from your son's wedding, sir?
I will be back late Friday evening.
So he's going out of state for his son's wedding, guys. What state is he going to? I bet it's North Carolina. Does anyone know? Rabbit, he's coming to your state.
And so I'll be available the following week.
Okay, will you be able to complete that task by that time?
That's right. I'll do my best.
Okay, sir, we will see you on give me a second, I want to make sure I get the date right. Monday, August 5 at 8:45. Okay, you'll be given a copy of the order that I just read from. Ms. Boone, you'll also be given a copy of the order. Do you have any questions for me?
I am thoroughly confused. Was the notice ever put online for this or mailed to anyone?
Okay, so now we come to Sarah Boone. You know, I just think she wants to throw as many spanners, wrenches into the machine as possible, right? She is pissing off the judge here. I am thoroughly confused. Well, let's hear what she's so confused about. You're getting a laptop with all of your evidence on it. You have to look at the evidence and be ready to defend yourself in court. Okay? That's the situation. There's nothing to be confused about. There's no question here. It's amazing. Just the attitude that she has. You know, I'm going to come to making a comment, which I've been doing on Reddit a little bit lately. I don't know if y'all have seen my comments on Reddit about Sarah Boone's, you know, I'm going to say what her defense should be and what any good lawyer would tell her defense should be. We'll get to that soon, guys.
I don't even know why Mr. Lane is here. I don't know why I'm here.
Well, ma'am, you are now representing yourself, and previously you had requested to appear at every hearing that was held. As you are now representing yourself, the court cannot have any hearings regarding your case without you being here. I put on the record and explained to you the process that the court has had with communications with the jail. I'm not allowed to look at any of that. I'm not allowed to copy any of that. So in speaking with the jail and understanding that you still have a private investigator that was provided to you through the state that's being compensated by the state, you're still allowed to utilize his services. The protections of the attorney-client privilege are still applicable.
It's easy to think that the judge has complete authority, isn't it? In the courtroom, that is. But whenever a judge is asked to instruct the jail, something like that, they always step back, you know, because the jail is run by another boss, big boss man, you know, and there's a professional courtesy. Well, it's not just professional courtesy, it's jurisdiction. The judge is in charge of the courtroom. That's it. And yeah, the judge can sentence you to go, you need to go and do this sentence. And that's it. But once the defendant is in the jail, then it's the boss of the jail that calls the shots. And I really like that element to the system. It's like no one person has complete authority, because the boss of the jail isn't coming into the courtroom saying, "Yeah, it should run like this." You know, it's judge in the court, and then what do you call it? Warden, chief warden of the jail is boss of the jail. I like that about the system.
To him, so he's able to review any of these documents, ensure that they are safely copied without violating any terms of the privileges. Those will then be placed on multiple USB drives and provided to you. Those USB drives will then be uploaded to a computer that has been secured for you at the jail for you to access all of that information.
Okay. My question is, was a notice of hearing posted or mailed to anyone to where apparently the news crews obviously got it? How is it that I do?
She's super angst about the news crews. Sarah, this is a mainstream case, okay? The news crews are parked outside the courthouse. She's like, "Oh, how did they get notice and I didn't?" Well, the hearing was set yesterday, and now you're here. You could look at that as short notice, or you could look at that as an, what do you call it? Expeditious? We expedited things to be quick for you, to give you as much this is where you're getting the notice of what's happening, Sarah. Okay, this is where we are telling you what we've arranged for you. We've gone to all this special effort. We've arranged for a laptop to be brought into your jail cell where you can review all the discovery. We were going to send you all the physical documents in these big boxes, but there was so much evidence against you that it wasn't feasible to deliver that. So we've made all these special arrangements for you to have a laptop in your jail without the charging cable, because obviously any cable you could use to hang yourself or attack another inmate. We've made all these special arrangements, and now we're telling you about them. And she's like, "Why wasn't I told that you were going to tell me about what's happening?" Just trying to throw any wrench in the works, man.
Do not know anything about this other than my bunk being kicked at 3 o'clock in the morning telling me I have court.
Ma'am, I have no other way to get in touch with you other than setting the hearing, which was set yesterday once I received confirmation from the jail as to the...
And as nice as this judge is, as clear as this judge is, he makes it quite clear in his tone that there's a limit, right?
Processes for how this would work. And I understand that your case is important, and I want to move it as efficiently, as diligently as possible. I know that you've been waiting for this information, and it took some time to confirm the process with the jail. You've advised me that you have very limited space. You have almost no privacy. You have a small drawer where you can keep some personal effects. We could not send all of those boxes with you to the jail, and the jail advised me that they cannot take all those boxes. A process had to be created to make sure, and this is the process.
The process that I was explained after speaking to a couple of sergeants, and I've been waiting for that, and I would much rather prefer a hard copy of these to where I can write on them as opposed to anything that's on a laptop.
I am unable to provide that for you. I have been provided the process has been provided to.
So her complaint is that she can't write on the documents. Well, you know, I'm pretty sure that you could get a piece of paper and take notes on that. What's the problem? The problem is, guys, that she wants every piece of ammunition for an appeal, right? She wants to say, oh, I requested the documents in paper form, physical form, so I could write on them, and I wasn't given that, so let me go.
To me by the Orange County Jail. I understand that's your preference, but I can't do anything more than what I've done right now.
I understand. And I have had other information given to me, which is why I've been waiting for the boxes for them. So I don't know, is this something that I need to pursue, continue with?
I think this is the third judge that she's had. You know, she went through, what was it, 8 lawyers? 8 frickin' lawyers. All of them went to the court and said, listen, you need to let me out of this because I can't deal with this person. I mean, that's crazy. 8. 1. Okay. I'm sure that happens from time to time where you just have a clash of energy with your lawyer, and you know, it's not, there's no synergy. 2, maybe, but that would already be worrying, right? If you can't get along with 2 court appointed lawyers, that's showing a problem somewhere, right? But 8, you know, perhaps that's unprecedented. That is a lot of chances. And the common factor is Sarah, right? And I just don't get at all why she's going this route. There is a clear way for her to represent herself. I'm not talking legally, I'm just talking in general, how she represents to other parties, how she appears, right? There is a clear way that she could have approached this situation that would give her the best opportunity to minimize her sentence, her punishment, whatever. We'll get to that in a second, guys.
Obviously, still for me to be able to receive my hard copies, because no one tells me anything.
I cannot answer that question because that may call for me providing you legal advice, which I am.
Just to answer Neety's question as to my personal opinion, Neety asks, so, general question. Sorry, where did it go? So, general question for all. Tragic accident or premeditated killing? So, Neety, when this first happened, I showed it to my now ex-girlfriend, the video of the suitcase that she took, and I said to my now ex-girlfriend, I said, listen, look at this. This, you could have done this. This is really in keeping with your attitude and your behavior and everything. This could have happened to you. And she said, yeah. So what am I concluding from that? Well, I don't think it was a premeditated killing. I think it was a really unhealthy relationship where shit like this went down from time to time, or all the time, you know. And she didn't really have any, she didn't think that he would die at all, in my opinion. She wanted to punish him and say, fuck you, sit in that suitcase, and she thought it was really funny. But I think that the main extent that she saw was she would be sitting in a subway, and not even a real subway, a fake subway that they have in the foyer of Home Depot. She'd be sitting in there having lunch, showing it to her girlfriends, saying, "Look what I did. I got him. I got him. I got him in the suitcase and I left him there all night." I really think that's the full extent of where she was going with this. I don't think she was like, yeah, I'm going to kill him. Like, if she wanted to kill him, she wouldn't have done it like that. So, tragic accident, in my opinion. And people say, oh, but if you get behind the wheel of a car and you're drunk, you're not, that's no excuse for your actions if you get in a car and kill someone when you're drunk. For example, like if someone runs someone over and kills them when they're drunk, they're culpable because they shouldn't have been driving when they're drunk, right? But there's a law against driving when you're drunk. There's not a law against being drunk in your own home. And there's not a law, a specific law, to not put someone in a suitcase. And people say, yeah, but George was saying that he couldn't breathe. Well, in my opinion, guys, that is easily misconstrued. I really don't think that she thought he would die. But as far as second-degree murder, which is what she is charged with, which is how is that written in the state of Florida? It's doing some action that may very well result in the death of another, something like that, whatever it is. Well, again, I think there's a good lawyer would totally get her out of this. But the way that she's portraying herself, the way that she's behaving in court, especially to her own judge, is a joke. I can't believe what she's doing. There's such a clear way to give her the best shot out of this. As it stands now, I think she's going to be doing 25 to life. And she's almost 50 here. I don't think she's going to come out of jail. Maybe she'll come out of jail when she's like 76. But this is it for her. If she's going with this line, crazy.
Prohibited from doing.
Okay, because I have no other way of contacting you other than another letter, and it's AKA worldwide. So am I supposed to go back and speak to the captain and whoever else it is that I might need to speak to in order to receive these?
Again, I cannot answer that question. All I can tell you is that we will have a hearing on August 5, whereby which Prison Break Investigations will provide all of the information on USB drives. Those will be provided to a representative from the Orange County Jail, who will place all that information on a laptop for you to use, and that's accessible for your use from 0800 to 1600 every day.
Right. Okay, so I guess I will figure that out, because if I'm up at 2 o'clock in the morning, I can't utilize the laptop, which is another reason why I was looking forward to the hard copies. So my other question is my time prorated for the time that I've been waiting for my discovery?
I'm not sure I understand what that means.
We've given you 8 hours a day with the laptop from 8 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon. Well, if I'm up at 2 in the morning, I can't utilize the hard copies. It's crazy. What is she doing?
Will I be having additional time added, or will it be extended from the time period of me waiting for my discovery still?
I'm not in a position to answer that question. I don't know what it is that you're asking for.
My pretrial is supposedly set for September 24th, I believe it is. So obviously I will not be prepared. And obviously I do not know what I'm doing. And obviously I'm still waiting for my discovery. So for that time period that I have been waiting for almost 4 weeks now, will that be added to the time frame in order for me to be properly prepared?
As of right now, the dates are what the dates are, ma'am.
You see, she's trying her best. And I think she knows what she's doing. She's not asking these questions genuinely. She's trying to put on record, on the official court record, how disheveled she is, right? Obviously, by my pre-trial on September 24th, I won't be prepared. I don't know what I'm doing, blah, 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 blah. Hang on a sec, guys. Oh, fuck. Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay, so I just missed a week, a month.
The dates are what the dates are.
So I also sent you, I believe, 5 motions. Have you received those?
No, ma'am, I have not.
They were mailed last week.
Then I have not received them yet. The last correspondence I got from you, ma'am, was received on July 8th.
5 motions I've mailed. They're probably sitting wherever else it is, considering it takes a day for you all to receive my mail, considering I'm right down the street from you all. So I have those also in order, which may change whatever information or anything that I'm trying to acquire in between now, the month less that I have in order to prepare for my trial. That's in October. So if you could keep an eye out for those also. I don't know who I'm supposed to ask. How did Mr. Lane come into any of this? Like, how was he called?
Mr. Lane has been your investigator in this case, and he was advised to attend this morning's hearing by virtue of being provided the discovery in order to digitize it so that you can have access to it.
The court contacted him?
I did not contact him.
Am I allowed to speak to him directly?
You can.
Mr. Lane, who contacted you in order for you to be here, please?
JA contacted me.
If I'm pro se and my own attorney,
Can someone tell me what the JA is? What is that? Like the Judas Authority or something? What is the JA? The JA contacted me to be here.
shouldn't I be included in all of this so I know what's going on and not a surprise hearing like it is again for the second time?
Ma'am, again, this is what
Sarah, the hearing was set yesterday. We gave you. Would you prefer to be told that there's going to be a hearing in 3 weeks? There's nothing to prepare for, Sarah. You're being told that you're getting special treatment. And now we should, what, suck your ass to tell you you're getting special treatment? The laptop is coming, Sarah. Yeah, you can't have it at 2 a.m. if you wake up at 2 a.m. You're getting it from 8 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon. That's it. And that is a special circumstance situation because you're pro se and we need to accommodate that.
why there were
The judge strikes the perfect balance between friendly, informative disclosure and here's the line.
benefits to being represented by counsel. The court has already identified in its 16-page order the reasons for why you no longer have those benefits.
Right. Which
It
is
makes
now
things
formed.
exceptionally more difficult, as I explained to you and communicated.
Oh, thanks, Rabbit. JA is judicial assistant, like one of the court clerks. Okay. Thank you, Rabbit.
With the court and communicating with the state attorney's office.
Isn't that what a certificate of service is for anything that's filed by anybody in the court?
There
That
was
should be included in that.
See the guy on the screen on the big monitor there, or the projector, whatever? That's the prosecutor. That's the guy who's going to be running the case against her for the state, right? and I've only seen him appear once physically in court, and I did not get strong vibe from him at all. If anyone knows who that is or knows another high-profile case that he's prosecuted, I'd love to hear about it. But I did not pick up from his style that he is a weighty prosecutor at all. So that's a little concerning.
Ma'am, there was no certificate of service for setting this for today. This was coordinated by the JA. You were advised as soon as it was set yesterday.
It's just very odd to me that the news knew about it before I did.
Again, I can't speak to that.
And so nonetheless, my constitutional right to counsel is being forfeited on your behalf in the court. So now I don't get appropriate notice in preparation for me to be able to be here and doing what I'm supposed to be doing and act as and perform as?
I've already addressed the reasons, ma'am, for why there was a forfeiture and alternatively a waiver in the 16-page order that you were provided. Again, it's difficult.
I got to find a copy of this 16-page order. I want to read that with a fine-tooth comb, go through it on the channel. I'd love to know what that says. Does anybody have a link to the 16-page order? Is that publicly available?
To communicate with you based on where your current housing is. I'm not able to pick up the phone. The judicial assistant's not able to pick up the phone to communicate with you or send you an email to schedule certain things. And it leaves a little bit of the level of further complication.
How is it the news knows before I do?
You keep asking the same question and the answer is going to be the same. I cannot answer that question for you because I do not know.
What is she worried about the news for? She has no friends. She's alienated everyone in her personal life through her alcohol abuse. Her parents are dead. She's got one brother in jail and one brother in the Marines down in Altamont. And what is she worried about? No one cares about you, Sarah. No one is watching this thinking any less of you than they did already, you know? What are you worried about the news crews for?
Okay, but you do know it's harder for me.
I would agree with that, yes.
And you do know that you did not ask me any questions in regards to your order. You just read it straight off and never asked me what.
But on the other hand, 5 years, almost 5 years, that's a lengthy sentence. No one wants to do 5 years in jail. And pre-trial, that's up there, you know. Caleb, what's his name? You know, Kai, the hatchet wielding hitchhiker. He was in jail for 5 years, and people were saying in New Jersey, and people were saying, "Oh man, that's a really long time to be in jail on judge's remand for 5 years pre judgment." You know.
What's what or how many with anything of it.
Ma'am, if you have questions, I can certainly try to answer them. I'm trying to facilitate you getting that information that you're certainly entitled to. And it took time for a process to be created by the Orange County Jail. As they had advised me, they do not have a place to store 2 bankers' boxes of information, nor are they in a position to provide you physical copies. This is what I've been advised as the process is. As soon as that process was finalized, I set the hearing. This was finalized yesterday.
No one ever asks me. I've been waiting for the boxes. I really don't know what to say. And because I supposedly have no way to contact you other than a letter, and the same for you, I don't know how the news crews got here before I did. But I don't know going forward, how is it that I'm supposed to be able to communicate with you other than me sitting here in front of you at these, I guess, supposed surprise hearings that I'm going to have every single time that it is that you would like to speak to me? Is that what it's going to be?
Ma'am, I cannot answer that question. All I can tell you is that you can communicate with the court through the avenues that you've been utilizing previously by and through letter writing. As I said, I do not have your letters that you sent last week. They're not in the court file, and they were not in my inbox yesterday. So as soon as I receive them, I will diligently review them. And if we have to set a hearing, you'll be properly noticed for it.
In the certificate of service?
You'll be properly noticed for it. Yes, ma'am.
And will there be a proper notice for today?
Notice was performed last night. I've already explained.
Am I allowed to ask the news crews how they got here?
No, ma'am, I'm not going to let you do that. They're not under oath. They're not a party to this action right now.
It's wrong and it's unfair.
Hey, KLK, and Hugh Hefner. The join button, I don't know where that is, but if you go to our channel page, which is youtube.com/@TrueCrimeMetrics, there's a tab called membership. If you want to become a member, it's right there, guys, on our channel page. You don't have to. We just keep giving out the content. You know, we just love being here. It's been like 5 or 6 days since we did a sit down together, guys, and I have missed all of you so much. People in my normal life that aren't talking about the case, that aren't talking about the Adelsons, that aren't talking about Sarah Boone. I get so bored. It's just not what I want to be talking about. Whatever they're talking about, I'm like, I don't care. Where's the justice for Dan Markel? Seriously. Being this whole YouTube streaming about the case and stuff, in some ways, it makes you less isolated because you connect with people like all of you that care about the case, that study the case, that love Georgia Kappelman, that love Sarah Dugan, that hate Wendy Adelson, and so on. You know, I feel so connected with all of you. But then on the flip side of that, I'm less connected with people in my real life. You know what I mean? It's kind of an interesting quagmire of sociability or something. It's but here we are. You know, who knows? Who knows?
You certainly entitled to that opinion.
Am I allowed to ask him a question?
Sure, go ahead.
Mr. Lane, how is it that you and I are supposed to be speaking to one another?
So my suggestion would be, since you're now the attorney and you are pro se, that either you or your honor gives me access to the jail to come visit with you, and I'll be happy to do that. It is the policy of the Orange County Jail.
Yeah, I'll be so happy to do that. I'm charging the court $500 an hour to come and do that. So I am so happy to do that. I was meant to be at my son's wedding in North Carolina this weekend, but if you're going to request an appointment with me, I'll cancel those plans because it's $500 an hour, baby. And no one questions me. I just send my bill to the court and they pay.
Attorney to allow me to access you. That's the reason for the past previous couple of attorneys I've not had the ability to come out and access you, but that's changed. And I'll be happy to continue to move forward with any investigative actions that can be for your defense, as long as I get that access.
So you need a letter from me?
Or the judge or the jail, somebody that will allow me access to you. Yes, ma'am.
And I send it to you directly?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this a letter also that you'll be supplying to him?
I don't know that I'm in a position to compel the Orange County Jail to do anything,
But you all are the ones who contacted him.
but I can't tell the jail, let this person come talk to you. If they have a policy.
Yeah, Angel Baby. Sorry, guys. I'm just catching up with the chat. It's been like, we're half an hour in the past already, but Angel Baby says, at least we won't see her building box forts at trial like Darrell Brooks. Wow. Yeah. I mean, we've got to get on to the Darrell Brooks trial. At some point. Terrible, horrible case. I mean, Jesus Christ. I actually found one of the videos of Darrell Brooks driving through the crowd of people that was uncensored. And he drove that Ford Escape through a bunch of children, you know, sort of teenage children. And it was like watching a bowling ball hit the pins. The crowd of children that he hit, it was one of the faster times that he hit the crowd. And it was the most bizarre thing. I think I watched it about 45 times on repeat. I don't know where I found this video, but I kind of wish that I didn't find the video, because all of the other footage from court was censored or blurred or something like that. And I just watched this video and I saw this crowd of children just sort of explode like bowling pins that have been hit on a good strike, you know. Man, it was really hard to witness. How could you do that? How could someone do that? Okay, you've just had an argument with your ex-girlfriend and you're pissed off. Okay. Well, that happens. But don't go and drive your SUV into a crowd of children. I mean, the car came along the road at a high rate of speed. I think this was about 50 miles an hour at this point. At this one point, I think it was the fastest time he hit people. And it was the strangest thing, because one second all these kids were there marching with their band instruments and everything like that, and he came along and they just disappeared. And you kind of saw some of them fly into the air. Just crazy. How could you do that? And then to go into court and do what he did in court? Insane. Insane.
Where you need to provide the letter, then you need to provide the letter.
So until you have that letter, you and I will not be able to speak with one another?
I will contact the jail myself and find out if there's intention to pro se, or maybe they can speak to you directly to circumvent the actual letter itself.
Thank you.
Ma'am, do you have any other questions?
I don't think you have enough time. I'm just doing my best, and if you could please keep an eye out for my motions.
I will be on the lookout for them. You said there were 5, correct?
Yes.
I will
If
be
you
on.
could please include me on the certificate of service for whatever hearings that we have that are no longer a surprise for me, please.
Understood. You'll be given a copy of the court's order that I
Okay, so here's another thing that I wanted to share with y'all. Let me just turn down the volume on this, and we'll talk about it while we're watching her alcoholic face. I am amazed that she has not, that she looks terrible. She looks ill and fat and old. And guilty. If she had gone into jail and immediately realized the horror that she had done, you can join an Alcoholics Anonymous program in jail. I believe that's across the board in any prison in America. There are avenues to deal with chronic alcoholism in jail. And Alcoholics Anonymous would have been a great start for her. And if she had done that by realization of the horrible action that she was party to, and used her time in jail, in prison, after she went through the program, spend your energy helping others, new people that are coming into the jail with chronic alcohol problems, which I'm willing to bet is 30% at least of the people that come into her prison or jail, whatever, county jail. If she'd have gone into a program, resolved the issues within herself, spent her time helping others that are coming in, and with it too, instead of writing all those angry, bitchy letters to the judge, she could have written a book on the dangers of addiction and codependency in close relationships. If she had have done that, she would be in such a strong position for a defense of horrible accidents. The way that she's playing it right now, this indignant, like, I wasn't informed. Are you going to put me on the case management file? And I want to have my documents in paper form so that I can write on them at 2 a.m. if I wake up. This whole thing, this whole style to her defense is not going to... She thinks she's giving herself the best favor so that she can have an appeal later on. She's doing anything but. And you know what? A legal representative would have been able to tell her that. But she basically fired them all by being too difficult, too demanding. It's insane. Honestly, I really think I don't have any legal training at all. But I do have some, well, I don't know if you call it training, but I'm pretty good at knowing what the point where points would be valid. If I'm talking to a judge, or if I'm talking to a cop, or if I'm talking to a client, or whatever. You know, I'm pretty good at assessing where the argument needs to be. And I believe that if I personally was tasked with representing Sarah in this case, that I could come up with something that a jury would get and understand and everything, you know? And it's amazing to me that she's completely missed that card. Man, so behind with the chat tonight, guys. I don't even know if I can put all these bets. Oh, hey, thanks, C. Malone, for the super sticker. Great way to support the channel. Thank you. And KLK. Hey, another support. Oh, you guys are amazing. We're just doing a little throwaway stream tonight, guys. It's 4 in the morning. What is it? It's 4:30. Yeah, thank you very much, guys. Great ways to support the channel. Ah, it's been so good to be back with you guys. Honestly, I feel like we're all family now, you know? How are we going to catch up with this chat? John Duncan. John Duncan. Yeah. No fancy fiction in the chat. But that's okay. She's probably busy. She's probably busy. Spacey Dove. One of our most generous contributors and supporters. What does Spacey Dove say? Spacey Dove says, this judge is a star. I agree. I don't know how he'll be able to maintain his composure with Sarah throughout the trial. She'll be going loco representing herself. Yeah, absolutely. I kind of think it's not even going to happen, to be honest. Sarah seems to have really doubled down on this argument that the procedure is not fair on her, right? That's her main point. If she'd have gone with a point of saying, man, I am so broken up that he's dead and that I caused that, but this was a horrible accident. We were both chronic alcoholics and we got into shit all the time. And this was not out of the norm, the normalcy of our relationship. This was entirely in keeping with our dysfunctional, abusive relationship. You know, a really interesting point was made on Rabid Dog's channel. If anyone hasn't seen Rabid Dog, he's from Scotland and has some really good points about this case, about the Adelson case as well. Great channel. I really like listening to that channel. It's a bit like this, kind of informal, kind of just the chat. Often there are guests. Everyone check out Rabid Dog. What was I going to say? Yeah, Sarah Boone's strategy is to go, oh, the procedure is unfair, and I wasn't given due process, and blah 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 blah. Shall we watch another video, guys? I'm just catching up with the chat. I've had to skip a load. Sorry, guys. I have no idea what's been said, but I really love having all your comments. Maria. How you doing, Maria? And Mary. So let's see what YouTube thinks we should watch, huh? Oh, Michael Dunn. I keep not doing Michael Dunn because I want to do a special, like, real walk through the case. I want to do an introduction video. I want to do the interrogation video, and then all of the court footage, which is a fantastic trial. Well, should we have a look at Fancy's video? How about it, Fancy? Oh, no sound?
Same time frame. Now, Granite law assures them that they'll get their money the next day. This is the same time frame, roughly, that Wendy Adelson was visiting the crime scene. Wendy indicated that she went to turn on to Trescot from Centerville Road, observed a roadblock, and then turned around. But we learned that what she said happened could not have happened.
Hey, Rabbit, should we watch the Paddy's Playhouse drive from Aqua Ridge Way to ABC Liquor? Let me try and find that. And Paddy, if you're watching, Paddy, and if you don't like that I'm going to show your video, just reach out to me and we'll make it right. Really don't want to step on any toes, and you know, it's not what I'm here to do. You got the audio here. Is audio on that video? C. Malone, let us know if you can hear Paddy. Can you hear Paddy? Oh, okay. Thanks, Rabbit. Okay, so Rabbit shared this video on our Discord server, guys. I wish I could say there's a link in the description, but there isn't, because there isn't a description. But yeah, let's just watch it all together, huh? This is a tour from Aqua Ridge Way, 3303 Aqua Ridge Way, to ABC Liquor, I believe, which shows some interesting things about the not shortcut down Trescot Drive. Let's see what happens. Man, that is some dramatic hair, isn't it? Like, wow. Real side shave going on there, Paddy. Power to you. Oh, there's no sounds? Okay, sorry guys. Sorry guys. Let's get some. Right, I gotta stop the stream. How's that? How's this?
The camera. Oh, they have a ring doorbell. Good for them.
Let us know you're all good, guys.
Back up. It is a cute house. It's plain Jane inside. I don't think they've done anything to it. These homes go for like buku money now for no reason. All right, you ready? Yep. Is it on record? Yep. So we're leaving the neighborhood of Aqua Ridge, and I'm trying not to hit anybody as he just stands in the middle of the road drinking his water. Lord have mercy. Can't. It is hot out. It's like 94, and it's 10:30.
Love this idea, Kerry. Kerry says, I want a Trescot is not a shortcut t-shirt. Okay, so t-shirts, guys. We've got about 1,000 ideas right now. But I really want to produce something that's like, you know, I don't want to just put text on a shirt. It's got to be looking nice as well, right? So we're going to have some time. We're going to have some time now to focus on those things. And we've got some great stuff hitting the merch store soon.
So we're making a right on Cameron Chase, because this is the Cameron Chase development. It's part of Killarn Estates. There's a lot of people out today. It's July, which is why I question that there was no one
Hey, Alabama.
else who saw the shooting in Benton Hill. Because it was July, 10 o'clock in the morning, something like this. Somebody had to have seen something besides Mr. Geiger. It's very odd. So I'm going down, I'm making a right onto Centerville now and driving towards Trescot. The ride is a little different than it was 10 years ago. But it's still a pretty ride. So she was probably anxiously driving down here, trying to be the first one to find Dan, but she didn't realize a retired neighbor would be at home. That was Mr. Geiger. So when we get to Trescot, I'm going to...
What does everybody think of this? Like, I've been working on Georgia carrying an alligator. It's not finished. I need to do more work on it, but I was thinking we could call it the Alligatelsons. Instead of alligator, we take the AL, you know, I don't know. let's get back to Patty.
One of the subscribers asked me to stop where I believe the caution tape was, crime scene tape. So I'm going to stop and then I'm going to walk down to where the Trescot house is so you can see the difference, how close she was to the home.
Look at these trees, man. I just can't wait to be in Tallahassee. I think I would really like it. I love trees. I love bushes and lawns and everything that grows in Tallahassee, including the alligators or the alligatelsons.
There's a lot more development through this area now than there was in 14. So there's going to be a lot more homes and just traffic in general. So once I get to Trescot, I'm gonna do that horrible K-turn that she did. Ugh.
Neaty. It never ceases to amaze me how you can put filthy into any conversation. You dirty girl.
And then, which probably made it so damn obvious what she was doing. And I'm gonna go back down to ABC, the liquor store, and then I'm going to cut up to where Mosaic used to be, which is now Hearth and Soul, which is like a gift shop, bookstore area. It's pretty. It's owned by Susie Bush of the Bush beer family.
Yeah, Hassie C. Malone. And Neaty is our Hassie Hussy. No offense. No offense.
That's true. Dick went out of business, I think a year after the shooting. But I've already shown
T-Town. Love it.
If you go back in videos I've made, I went back in the archives and found Mosaic's website. We don't know what she had that day, but I bet there was some liquor involved.
Actually, I had dinner recently, just on my own after work, and I took a picture of the plate of food that I was served because I thought this would be so fitting to be Wendy Adelson's order, right? It was a little bit too fancy for me. I just like a plate, stack it high, give me a plate of food. I'm not a fancy guy, but this plate of food that was served to me, I was like, oh my God, Wendy Adelson would love this plate. I'll see if I can dig that out the archives, guys, and share with y'all a picture of the plate of food that was fit for an Adelson.
She was dressing like she, got out of a moving truck, which is what we think she was doing. We think she was packing, getting ready to go, and that's why she wouldn't let her ex-boyfriend, Jeffrey Lacoste, in the house. And then when people came over to her home after Dan Markel was shot in his garage, there was barely anything in the house. So we just moseyed along.
So she was packing up and
We
getting ready
believe
to
so,
move
yeah.
before he was even
Right. So
shot.
part of Jeffrey Lacoste, who was her ex-boyfriend's testimony, was that she was always going down to South Florida where her parents lived in Coral Springs.
Mm-hmm.
And he said on the stand that she was cleaning out her childhood bedroom. That's what she told him. It's factually kind of incorrect because they sold that home. The Adelson mom and dad, Harvey and Donna, sold the home in 2015, and her stuff was in there. I mean, the boys were 3 and 4, and there was a crib in a bedroom. They didn't let go of things, which I guess is a good thing. Just do it. I'll edit that. Don't worry about it. So this whole
C. Malone says, where are you going to live stream in Hassie? Salty Dog? What is that, a bar? No, we're going to live stream right from the courthouse. Outside the courthouse. I mean, obviously we can't stream from inside the courtroom. But, you know, I'm worried about the
section was different.
I'm worried about the smaller courtroom thing. I know that people are petitioning for that not to be granted. My general feeling, limited knowledge, just, you know, I go on instinct, guys, most of the time, and I'm correct about 40% of the time. I think it may well be granted. To protect against Donna's rights for appeal, you know. So if that happens and I fly to Dublin, from Faro to Dublin to Toronto to Fort Lauderdale to Tallahassee over 48 hours at the cost of 1,500 euros, and the freaking courtroom is moved to a place that I can't get in, that's bad. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm still gonna do my ESTA this weekend. That's the visa waiver application for entry to the US, but that's only $21, so I can do that. That's fine. So at least then I'll know if I can travel. But I need to keep an eye on what's going on with the courtroom, because it would be such a bummer to come all that way to Tallahassee. As much as I'd love to see the town, I want to be in the courtroom. I want to be watching Georgia Kaupelman do her thing. I want to see Sarah Dugan do her thing and tell all of you about it. You know,
14 with like 15 lanes. It's still busy. I'm gonna let him go. Is it saying temperature still? I'm gonna turn the AAC up a little bit so you can put the, hold it maybe up against that. Yeah, so we can get some. My phone says it's getting hot. Go ahead. Oh, go. All right. Well, whatever. We tried.
What is this, Rabbit? Rabbit says, if we watched Donna's trial and we heard somebody yelling from the hallway with a pronounced British accent, we'll need to start a bail fund. Yeah. Well, listen, I'm coming over to be respectful of the court process, and I'm not going to be shouting from the hallway. Norma C, good to see you. Always good to see you, Norma C. You don't think I'm British? Well, I'm British, unfortunately. Don't tell anybody. But I do appreciate that my accent is not really clear, you know. I could make it clear. I could talk like I do when I'm in London. But I've been out of England for so long. It's you know, and nobody I speak to in my life is English. I'm not a big fan of England. Fuck it. Hey, Mrs. D. How you doing? Good to see you.
Really should have those more secured, don't you think?
Yeah, he should have those more secured. Look at those planks. Those planks are hazards. Hazards on the road. Brilliant. Neaty. What is that? Yeah, brilliant. Hugh Grant. What was the last movie I saw Hugh Grant? 9 Months. About a Boy. Oh, I think we're gonna have to do a British show where I just go full on London accent.
That's what I mean, Erica. When you buy your fence, you might want to go pick out your boards. Crap like that right now. Who knows how that's going to end up. So we're about to make a right on Centerville. This becomes Blairstone Road, which cuts across the county. And now we're going down Centerville. This was a little different, of course.
It's, you know, it's kind of weird. You know, if I ever want to get, if I ever need to get tough with someone, like you know what I mean? Those kind of situations where you need to put a line down, then I'll be talking like I'm from London. But in these streams, you know, I feel so safe and at home that I don't need to be tough with anyone here. Speaking of which, we did have a post in Reddit recently, guys, where, what was it? Someone said that the primary reason that Dan Markel was killed was because of the boys. And I came on with a post saying, well, I disagree with that. And this is why. And I really expected this person who made the original post to get into an argument with me and say, you don't know what you're talking about. But you know what they did? They sent me a message and said, listen, I read your comment and I've deleted my post because you've convinced me. I was really surprised because those sort of online battles can really go south, if you know what I mean. I wasn't having a battle. I was just like, listen, okay, I don't agree with your opinion. I said I don't think I agree with your opinion. So it wasn't like heavy, you know, I was kind of gentle. But I said, this is why, you know, and the reason this is why was because, Well, let me see if I can read the post. Where is the post? I said, I don't think I agree the primary reason Dan was killed was because of the boys. There are many motives when singularly counted. The thread that runs through them all is the Adelson's image portrayal, which, it seems fair to say, was the primary reason Dan was killed. I don't think Wendy has the slightest care for her sons outside of how they serve her image. They also serve her as assets to continue causing anguish to the Markells, which is like an extension of the original action against Dan. It is fuel to Wendy. She does not love the boys as a normal parent. She is incapable of that. And this person sent me a message saying, oh, look, I've deleted my original post because you're right. And I was not expecting that at all.
2014, but Centerville's still the same. If I ever do this again, I should do it on a Friday. Show you how much more traffic there is. And she did it around 12, but of course I'm hoping to be at the courthouse at 12. So we're passing Woodgate, which takes you to Thomasville Road, which is a shorter turn to Thomasville Road ABC than what she did. So speed limit's 35 through here, but this guy with the 2x4s is like, he's got diving boards coming out. I mean, they're bouncing everywhere, so. I hope he doesn't turn down Trescot. So right here is Trescot going down. So you saw there Trescot to Centerville. In one of the testimonies, she's saying she stopped right there and just kept going down Centerville. That was the last trial. Every trial has been a little different. So someone said count speed bumps. So there's one speed bump. So you can't really fly through here, but it's a mile from Centerville Road to the home on Trescot. So here's number 2. So you have to go slow again. Here's where I told everyone you cross, there's a bridge that goes to the other part of Benton. Three, there's only a sidewalk on one side. And Luis Rivera believes he saw Wendy from a photo because he couldn't read English. So they sent photos with the hit crew. Walking with the kids. We don't know if that's true or not, but someone suggested Luis saw this information in a blog, and Luis said, there's another bridge. Wendy is the blog. It's like, okay. Luis was pretty funny. So you have to go slow. There's like 4 speed bumps now. There's another one coming up. Here is where I cannot get out and walk. Here you go. But right here is where the caution tape was. See where that sign is and the telephone pole? If you watch the video that Kendall Brandt put out with WTXL, this is the house where the caution tape was put up. So it's right there. Oh, look at the little boy riding down the street as if he's 16. Look at that. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Not even going the speed limit. Mommy, Daddy, where are you? Oh, wait. I know your parents, kid. Love that house. I've been in that house. I know your parents. Anyway, so this is the home where you hear Erica's gonna scan this house so you can see it. And I'll try to clip in Kendall Brandt's video. You can zoom out on that. See it? So right here at this telephone pole was where the caution tape was, and there's a speed hump. And she's saying that she made a 3-point turn and came out, which she would have had to. She was in a minivan, but it wouldn't have been easy to do.
No, it wasn't a 3-point turn, guys. It was a K turn. Whatever the hell that is. Man, I can't stand when people get stuff like that wrong. You know, K turn. Never heard that phrase mentioned by anybody.
Right? It wouldn't have been easy. In fact, it would have been very challenging. So here is somebody who cut the curb for a little grass driveway, which is kind of smart. I got
80, Addie's is known, says she's in West Virginia. Okay, that's another one for our map. Another state on the map. I think we're 45 out of 50 now, guys. Just need Idaho, Utah, and Rhode Island, Delaware. We've got everything else. Oh, Wyoming.
to figure out where I can turn around. I'm going to turn around in that driveway. So I'm not going past Trescot, the house. I'm just turning back up. Now, at this point, she said she went up Benton. I'm going to figure out what cut through that is. I think that's Chamberlain. Hold on.
Hey, Addie, do I pronounce your name right? Is it Zinon? It's Italian, right?
So I'm going to go up, back up Trescot.
Yeah, we've had Vermont for ages, Kerry. What do we got? Let's take a look at our map. Let's take a look at our map, guys. We got to fill in West Virginia right now. Where's the fucking map? Okay, bear with us, folks. This is very important business, okay? Check it out, guys. I mean, I am literally so proud of this. This is crazy, you know. Even that little video we did today with soap on the beach and the dock with all the boats. It's crazy to me how many views that had. From all across this great landmass. You know, people from Minnesota, people from Oregon, people from Florida, Texas, Maine. Crazy. But what about Iowa? Iowa, North Dakota. Okay, how many states have we got to go? How the hell are we ever gonna get Hawaii? Do they have true crime in Hawaii? Okay, Idaho, Utah, Wyoming, North Dakota, Iowa, Rhode Island, and oh, we don't have Vermont. Okay, if we've got anyone in the chat from Vermont, we need you too.
And take a right, and that's when she said she went up Benton. So she probably went up Blythe to Benton. So Blythe is right here, Blythe. She didn't mention this street, but she did mention, I think in the first trial, she turned around and went up Benton. So this takes you to Randolph, another beautiful street. Really beautiful homes back here. This neighborhood back in the day when it was developed was for FSU professors. That's primarily what was here, was people that worked at FSU and wanted to live here, close by.
Yeah, Spacey Dove, we've had these sort of situations before. You know, I think it was I can't remember who it was, but someone said, "Oh, I'm from California, but I'm driving to Montana right now, and I'm going through Wyoming, so you can mark off another 2 states." And I was like, "No, that doesn't count." The nice thing about the map is, guys, that it's people that are based in that state. I think it was Neaty that came up with the whole rule book. Oh no, it was Christina Anderson, who we miss so much. Oh, Christina, why did you? What does anyone have a contact for Christina, guys? We miss her so much. I apparently offended her on our Nicole Kessinger episode. By the way, guys, somebody on Reddit sent me a message. Let me see if I can pull up these pictures. They think that they found Nicole Kessinger with a changed face and a son that's 6 years old in 2024 that looks exactly like Chris Watts. How about that, huh? Let me see if I can find the message. Oh, where did they send me a message? On Gmail. Okay. If anyone wants to send us an email, guys, you can get us on truecrimemetrics@gmail.com. Yeah, so check this out, guys. Is this Nicole Kessinger? Okay, so there's picture 1. And she's selling Thrive products, right? This one I could particularly believe is her. And then here's a picture with her son. And the person that sent this to me noted that the boy has sunken eyes like Chris. So is that Chris Watts's son? And is that Nicole Kessinger with a bit of a changed face? Could be, right? And she's selling Thrive products. What are people thinking about that in the chat? Oh, Leslie's on vacation in Vegas for a long weekend. Hey, Leslie, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Oh, Nisi has to Google what a Thrive product is. Well, Nisi, it's what Shanann Watts was selling. Her multi-level marketing business was Thrive products for a company called Level, which is Level, I think. It's a patch that you wear, a bit like a nicotine patch, but it doesn't put nicotine into your body. It puts ginseng and energy and protein and stuff like that. You know, it's like a well-being product.
Now these homes go anywhere from...
Yeah, we'll have to do a check on Nicole's ears, Norma. Because I don't think she's met up with Mike Tyson.
500 to well over $1 million. But when she lived here, it was like 200 to 300.
Affordable.
Yeah, but then it was a different time. You know, money wasn't the same. So I'm on Benton Road. And the traffic is, of course, heavier than it would have been, but it would still been heavy. That's why I said none of this is a shortcut. It's much easier to go down Centerville at the light at Benton and make a right to go across than it is to try and turn on one of the side streets. Much, much easier. So now I'm going to...
Yeah, but Rabbit, you're forgetting one thing, that Wendy only drove down Trescot so that she could come to terms with the divorce, right? You know, she would drive past her house and take Jeff Lacasse there and say, "Oh, there's my former home." Oh, yeah, she was just coming to terms with that divorce that she insisted on having and orchestrated and brutally bastardized. You know, I mean, fucking hell. I've said before on our 10-year special of Dan Markel's death that I would not be able to have restraint as Phil Markel. I would snap her neck on sight in front of the boys and don't give a fuck if you send me to jail forever. That was my purpose on the earth, to snap her neck, and now it's done. So I've fulfilled my purpose. But if I was Dan Markel during these proceedings, I also don't think I could have had restraint to just put this through the courts. I'd have to snap her neck. Her neck needs snapping by somebody, right? Let it be me.
ABC. And you see this back up, it's the same way it would have been. Ooh, can you take a picture of that? I've never noticed that sign, the Plantation Cemetery at Benton. I need to look that up. Site all that remains of a much larger cemetery for African Americans dating from the pre-Civil War. Wow. Turbot Benton was a prominent community. So coming up here is this sign on for Trescot. Right here. So you make a right and then you get to the house. And we're going to go to the ABC liquor store, so I'm going to get in this lane. Turning a left on top.
I think Mary Bartlett is a big Beatles fan. The long and winding road. Bum, bum.
Thomasville to the ABC. It's in the exact same location. It's just dressed up. Southern Flooring was there. 2014. Nice Mercedes. So she likely would have parked here, gone in, bought her bullet. It's not bourbon, it's rye, the green label. Walked in, bought it. There was a receipt for the time.
I looked up where I could get a bottle of bullet bourbon, rye, whatever, in Portugal. And I could get a bottle of it for about 30 euros. And I don't drink. I don't drink any alcohol. But I was thinking maybe it would be an interesting idea to go and buy a bottle of bullet bourbon. And maybe drink it. I don't know. But just to kind of hold it in my hand. There is a place that I can get it in Portugal. It's called Suarez Garrafaria liquor store. bottle shop is Garrafaria. Yeah, maybe that'll happen tomorrow, guys.
Because you can't make a left out of there, she would have come out here, prayed that somebody let her out. This is where the yoga place was that she went to. Right here. That she met Jeffrey Lacoste that night. This is the yoga store. Right up here. At Benton.
Yeah, Rabbit, I see exactly what you mean. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way anybody would take that route or park in that way or nothing.
There was a shooting there years afterwards. Some freak who didn't like women went and shot it up. Sorry, my windows are dirty, but you can really tell that right now. So when Jeffrey Lacoste met her that last night of what he says was their relationship was in this parking lot. Because it was just a minute from Trescot. But again, she probably, she may have gone there all the time, but when you relocate to another area and you've been there a year, you kind of like start migrating, right? Migrating your stores, migrating your stuff, don't you? Erica, you just moved. Do you still go to the same stores that you did before?
Well, no, I go to the ones that are closer.
I mean, doesn't it make, I don't know. I'm going to have to put a survey down for people and ask if they still, like, you don't go to the old Circle K, you're going to the one closer to where you are. This is what's going to be difficult.
Yes, I've migrated to the Appalachia Walmart.
It's horrible.
It's better than Tennessee.
I don't think I've ever been in that one.
Good for you.
Oh yeah, when you lived over off of Cali.
Yes. Good old Cali Street.
Yes. I had to go in there on Sunday to get my husband something for his potluck at his church. I walked in and immediately started to sweat. I was like, I don't feel anxious very often, but that was like, why did I forget my life? Why did I forget to get him something yesterday? Why didn't I make something? Why am I here? I literally just wanted to go in and get cupcakes. And a guy...
Yeah, Rabbit is really mad at Isom, guys. But he, as far as I remember, he picked up on it almost instantly. He was like, I'm a little bit confused. Why are you going around Trescot to get to Benton? Or whatever it was. To Monroe? He probed. But was he just acting dumb? That's the question. And now that we've got through all of Katie McBanaman's testimonies pre-conviction, we've obviously still got to cover her post-conviction testimony when she was in the purple robes talking at Charlie's trial. But I think right now we've got enough ammunition to get through General Isom's time on the stand, which is something we might cover tomorrow, guys. I think that'll be a good idea. And yeah, what are we doing after that? We're doing Jeff Lacasse and Tamara Dempko. Maybe even do like a merging special episode where we do 2 videos in one. How about that, guys? Anyway, coming up to 2 hours. It's 5:25 in the morning. And yeah, I guess my day tomorrow will be better if I have another 2 or 3 hours sleep. So as much as I love talking to y'all, I'm gonna go. And I'll see you real soon. I'll see you tomorrow. can't wait. Fucking hell. Oh, Soap, what are we gonna do with these people on the stream? What are we gonna do with them, Soap? We got to meet them all in Tallahassee. Well, that's what we're gonna do. All right, guys. Thanks so much for the chat. Sorry, not really being on it today, showing you messages, replying to your messages, but it's been a really late episode for us today. And we love you all, and you're fantastic. Okay? See you tomorrow, guys.